I came across this incredible piece of writing from Taipei recently, and it offers a totally different way to experience a city. Any city, really. It's more than that. It's a philosophy of encounter that could honestly change the way you walk down your own street. So let's get into it.
So let me start by asking you a really simple question. What is a city? I mean, really, what is it to you? Is it just a grid of streets, a bunch of buildings and landmarks, a map that gets you from point A to point B? Most of us, yeah, we think about it in these physical terms. But what if that's not the whole story? What if we're kind of missing the point?
Right away, this text just flips that whole idea on its head. It suggests that a city isn't something you just see, it's something you feel. It's an imprint of emotions. And that one idea right there is the key to everything that follows. It's how we go from seeing the world as concrete to seeing it as connection.
Okay, so if a city is this imprint of emotions, how in the world do we learn to read it? Well, the source gives us a framework for this, a kind of practical philosophy it calls the Taipei Discourse. And it's really not some big, heavy theory. It's much more of a personal practice.
And just listen to how poetic this definition is. This is a dialogue that doesn't need agreement. You're not trying to win a debate. It's a different kind of interaction altogether. One where your body is the syntax, the very structure of the conversation, and your spirit is the punctuation. It's about connecting on a totally different frequency.
All right, so the first step on this path is to completely rethink something we all think we get. Leisure.
You know, usually when we think of leisure, we think of a vacation, right? An escape from our lives. But this idea turns that inside out. Here, leisure is about leaning into life, not away from it. It's not about doing nothing. It's the conscious act of giving the gift of time back to yourself and to the people around you.
It's about tuning your senses into all the little details that we just blitz past every single day. Hearing the water dripping, the echoes in an arcade. That's it. That's the practice. And that's where things start to get really interesting.
So when you start doing this, when you actually slow down, it just naturally opens up the space for the second big idea here. Contemplation.
And we're not talking about heavy, furrowed brow thinking here. The text calls it a soft light. It's this gentle, almost passive awareness that lets feelings and ideas just bubble up. Things that might be so new or so subtle that you don't even have words for them yet. It's about discovering your own inner landscape.
Okay, so this inner journey, this quiet contemplation, it then leads us to a new way of understanding the third pillar, desire, or Eros. And just like with leisure, the way this text talks about desire, it's probably not what you're thinking.
See, this isn't the kind of desire that's about wanting to get something or possess someone. It's not about acquisition. It's simply a feeling of closeness and affinity, a recognition that you're on a shared wavelength with someone. It's that feeling of just being in tune.
I mean, just think about that for a second. It's that jolt you get when you see something in another person, a quality, a hope, maybe even a struggle that connects with some unspoken, unfulfilled part of your own self. That's the spark. That's the moment of real connection.
Okay, so let's put it all together. You've got these three big ideas: practicing leisure, making space for contemplation, and feeling this totally new kind of desire for connection. When you combine them, it absolutely revolutionizes how you meet other people.
It almost becomes this simple three-step method. First, you slow way down. You give time back. That then opens up your mind for real contemplation. And from that quiet, reflective place, you start to see others not as objects, but through this new lens of empathetic, connective desire.
And the shift that happens here, it is just profound. All of a sudden, the differences between you and someone else, their background, their beliefs, their appearance, they're not barriers anymore. They become a resonant rhythm. It's like your differences and their differences start making a kind of music together. Your own sense of self gets rearranged just by being seen by them.
And this next quote, wow, it just captures it perfectly. That little moment of connection, that resonant rhythm, is like a crack opened by the world between breaths. It's this tiny opening in the ordinary, a space that appears for just a second where something truly real can happen. Okay, so let's zoom back out. Let's bring all of this back to where we started, the city. Because if you start meeting people this way, the whole city,
the entire urban landscape, it starts to transform too.
And this, right here, is the ultimate point. The city stops being just concrete and steel. It becomes this living, breathing fabric, a texture that's woven from all those countless quiet moments of contemplation and all those sparks of connective desire. The city itself becomes a landscape of pure feeling.
And just listen to this beautiful final image of what that city feels like. Think about that. Every time you just stop, you pause, you create a thought you can almost live inside of. Every shared look with a stranger gives a memory a new home. The city becomes a part of you, and you become part of it.
So I'll leave you with this question. What would happen if you walked outside your door right now and you actually chose to try this? If you practiced this kind of leisure, allowed for that gentle contemplation, and looked for that resonant rhythm in others? How would your city, the one you think you know so well, actually change before your very eyes?